Okay, so we left off here, and I wanted to show you, which I realized I didn't. If I go to layout, and I'm going to see everything in here, but just to get the idea, you would take your viewport, and you would click on it, and you'd go, let's say, to the midpoint, and then I'm just going to go to regular AutoCAD copy, and I'm going to copy this right next to it. All right, so basically there's two heads, and in each one, let's say we'll focus on this one down here. I'm going to zoom in, and let's say I'll orbit this to here. And in this one, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to look at it from a whole different view. I'm going to go to orbit, and let's say from that viewpoint. And keep in mind, it's the only thing in the drawing, so I'm not going to erase that. But I'm also going to change the visual style. Now, I didn't show you this in the main video, but see this right up here? I'm going to click on the word conceptual, and you're going to see that there's even more visual styles. Some of them are kind of neat. For example, let's say X-ray, right? Now, I should change the color of this because being white means it's going to be just a dark gray, and it's not very exciting. But let's say I'll go green just for the heck of it. And you can see the X-ray, you can kind of see through it, okay? And if I go to sketchy, and it looks like I hand sketched it, or if I go to gray, shades of gray, not as exciting, but still good. If you're printing it out on your black and white printer, you know, that's good. Or let's see any others. There is shaded with edges, okay? So it doesn't tone down the edges or keep them black like that one. And let's see anything else here. Hidden. Okay, but I'm going to leave it up to you. Choose, give it a color so that it's not just white, and then choose two different visual styles. All right, so to give you the demonstration now of modeling something new, what I'm going to do is start a new drawing. I'm just going to click on the plus sign here. So if you're following along with me, go ahead and do that. I'm just clicking on the plus sign. And I'm going to, so we can see what we're going to draw, I'm going to just drag my screen in, and you guys can see, revealing the three views of what we're going to draw. So this is another object that's not all that different from one of the ones that you have to draw for the assignment. So here's three different views. Now, when I look at this, the first thing I see is a profile. I see this shape, right, and that shape is extruded up to this height. So I'm going to draw in the top view, I'm going to draw this shape here, and then we'll extrude it to the height of that. Okay? So these are much bigger numbers. It's probably millimeters, but who cares? It's, the line is a line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by drawing a box that's 55 by, actually double that, right? That's the radius. It's 35 to here, and then another 35. So what is that? 70, right? So 55 by 70. So I'm going to do that with a rectangle. So I'm going to go to rectangle, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to say at 55, comma 70. And it's big, so I'm just going to zoom back out. Now I need to put this big 35-inch radius from the midpoint of this line. Okay? So I'm going to go to circle, and I'm going to snap to the midpoint here, and just go up and click. Right? And that should be 35 radius. And if I'm not confident that it is, I can just click on it, and sure enough, radius 35. But what I now need to do is trim these inner lines. I don't need them anymore. So I'm going to go to trim, enter, click, and click. So there's my outer profile shape. So now I'm going to switch to a southeast isometric, and I'm going to press pull this shape up. What's the height of this? 30 units. So I go to press pull, bring my mouse anywhere inside the shape and click. Oh, I guess I didn't do press pull there, did I? Because I've scrunched my screen down, I don't see the names of this, so I picked that up on myself. Press pull. So I'm clicking press pull, putting my mouse inside the shape and clicking, lifting up and saying 30. 30, enter. And then a second enter to complete. Right? Remember, it's 30 inches, or 30 inches tall, from here to here. And now I have that whole shape done. Okay? Now, sticking out of the top of it is a cylinder that's diameter 30, and the height, well, if this whole thing's 60, and this is 30, so it's 30 by 30 cylinder. And that's right at the center of this, which would be 35 units in. So we can track from this midpoint in 35. I'm going to click on this and change its color. And I'll go with, let's say, cyan, and then conceptual shading. Okay, so conceptual shading, change the color to cyan so we can see where we track. So now I'm going to click on cylinder. I'm going to touch, right, I'm using that dynamic UCS, so I have to keep on this surface. I'm going to touch the midpoint here, and then move inward and type in 35. Yep, 35, enter. So now I'm in the center for that. I'm going to right-click diameter. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to do that. And the diameter of this is 30. So type in 30, enter. And then the height we said is also 30. Right? The height, if this is 30, and this whole thing's 60, so that's got to be 30. So lifting up with my mouse and saying 30, enter. Now, this piece should all be one object, so let's union these two together. So I'm going to go to Union, and I'm going to select both pieces and hit enter. Now it's one piece, but two colors. That's all right. The question is, what if I wanted this to be cyan? So if I click this, and I come in here and click cyan, will it all change to that? There's your answer. I could make it a separate color. We just didn't learn it. All right. Now I need to drill some holes through it. So here's a hole, and based upon my top view, that hole goes all the way through. So what do we know about that hole? It's 20, diameter 20, and it's also 35 units in off the midpoint of this side. So I need to track from the midpoint right here in 35 and draw me a circle. I'm going to press pull that all the way through to get a hole. So instead of a cylinder, I'm going to go with circle. So click circle, bring your mouse and activate that side panel, and then slowly move out until you can track off the midpoint in. And I'm going to type in 35 enter. Okay, then I'm going to right click diameter, and the diameter is 20. Okay, so I'm going to type in 20, enter. And then I'm going to go to press pull. There's my press pull. And I'm going to press pull that. So I put my mouse within it. Remember, you don't click it, within it. Click, move until I see the cylinder coming out the back, and click. And there's my hole going all the way through. If I don't trust it, I'm going to go to orbit and just say, hey, can I see through it? Yeah, sure I can. Okay. Now I need to create this counter bore hole that's on this face. So I've got this large diameter that's only a certain depth. So I have to be able to read this data here. So what this is saying is diameter 10. It always lists the smaller circle first. So this is a 10-inch diameter, and that's going to go all the way through to this hole. Then I've got this 20-inch diameter that's at a depth of 10. So this is my 20-inch diameter here, and it's at a depth of 10. So let's do that. Let's do the small hole first, and we're going to do basically a circle. Okay, so it's right smack in the middle of this face. It's up 15 and it's over 35, so we're going to track off of the two midpoints with a circle. I go to circle, bring my mouse in the face. Oh, I'm going to go off it and come back in, and I touch the midpoint here. I have to come around and touch the midpoint here. Find where they track, click, alright, there's the center, right click diameter, and let's do the large one first, which is 20. Okay, now the second circle is easy because I just snap to the center of that. I go to circle, bring my mouse into the plane, snap to the center, right click diameter, and 10. Okay, now the first part of this is going to be a little tricky. What I need to do is press pull this in, but not all the way through, and I just need to press pull it in as far as this hole here. So what I'm going to do, I can't see the depth of that. I'm going to switch back to 2D wireframe, and I'm going to orbit around just a little bit more to the side here. You get a better feel for the depth of that. Okay? So 2D wireframe, and I orbit so that I'm around the side. I don't want to go too much around the side because then the press pull has a hard time understanding when you click inside. So now I'm going to go to press pull. I'm going to go inside the smaller circle, click, and I'm just going to go in and snap to the center of that. Okay? And then enter. And that's neat. It's actually wrapping around the profile of that tube, right? So if I look at this from the straight on, I can't see that line. Okay? So that's pretty neat. All right, now I need to simply, I'm going to go back to conceptual shading, and I just need to press pull the rest of this hole in at a depth of 10, and that's easy to do. So I'm going to go back to press pull, put my mouse in between the two circles and click, and just move inward and say 10, enter, and then a second enter to complete. Now remember, it leaves the construction geometry behind. So watch what I do. To finish this, I'm going to click out in space here and just make a big old window. Because if you try to click it, it'll get the model instead of the circle. So I click there, and then I'm going to hit delete. All right, I'm going to do that one more time for the other circle. I don't want to make a green window, so I'm going to make a big blue one and delete. Okay, so there's my model. So now when I orbit around, I can see that the one hole intersects with the other hole. I've got one continuous shape here. If I click this and hit delete, I'm just left with that original geometry. Okay, so there is, a little bit of technique in creating a solid model. I hope that gives you some confidence on the other ones. And, once again, good luck. I would say that on this one here, if you choose this one here, what I would do is on the ground, I would draw this outer shape. Okay? I would from the top view, I would draw this shape here, and then I would extrude it 100, and then I would use that 3D rotate. Because it's going to be standing upright, right? If you're looking at it from a southeast ISO, it's going to be up in the air like this. My best to draw this thing here. It'll be standing upright when looking at it from southeast ISO. Okay? So you're going to want to use the 3D orbit and set it back down flat. Then you can put your holes in it, right? Your slot holes and all that stuff. Okay, give that a shot. 3D model one of those, and split up your viewports. Go with a good visual style. Change the color of it. Email it to me, and we'll pick it up from there next week. All right. Good luck.